Hello everyone, welcome to section 5. So you have learned how to clean and structure text. Now it's time to teach machines to understand that text using classification. Okay. So in this first lecture, we are going to introduce the concept of text classification, and then from next lecture onwards, we will try to look at one of the classification algorithms called Naive Bayes algorithm and try to make our own model using a simple bag of word models. Okay, let's get started. So, what is text classification? In simplest forms, it's a task of assigning categories to text. What do I mean by that? Now, consider movie reviews data. In movies review data, what we try to do is sometimes we try to understand the kind of reviews that we have got for the movie. We could have got positive review, we could have got negative review, or we could have got a neutral review, right? Or take another example where we are trying to classify whether an email is spam or not, right? It is also a classification problem. So any problem where we want to take a piece of text and we want to classify it into one of the distinct categories. Here distinct is important because I don't want to have infinite number of categories but very finite and distinct number of categories. Okay, we can also have a automatic news grouping problem where given a news article I want to automatically group that into one of categories like tech or politics or sports article, right? Or I want to predict the sentiment as we already discussed for a movie review. And for a movie review, I may want to predict whether it is a positive review, positive sentiment, or negative sentiment, right? So now, this is what we know about classification, text classification in particular. Okay, now text classification is what is known as supervised learning. Now, the way supervised learning works is we have a data, and when we say we have a data of both input and output. I have, let's say, bunch of documents, bunch of news articles, bunch of movie reviews, and also corresponding to them the actual reviews. And I want to learn the patterns. And when I say learn the pattern, what I want to learn is I want to learn the hidden pattern that made that prediction, made that category. So, for example, if I have a movie review problem, I want to understand lead to which words lead to positive or negative reviews. Okay, which words lead to positive or negative reviews, right? So this is one of the problems that we may want to solve. Okay, and we want to learn these hidden patterns, and this hidden pattern is known as supervised learning. And the reason it is known as supervised because in the training stage, in the training of the model stage, we provide our model with the correct input and output pairs. Okay, all right. Now let's talk about a typical pipeline. So what we have is we have a text to prediction model. So what we have is, first of all, we have text, we have actual predictions, whether it is positive, negative, whether it is tech or sports, politics article. Okay, now what we do is we clean that text and we try to understand the kind of features that we are going to build and what exactly are features. So what we have is, okay, let me write it down first. Okay, so what we have is text articles, text data maybe, and prediction, or rather labels or categories. Okay, so we have this data and we may have, let's say, 100K such data points. When I say 100K, what I mean is, let's say I might have one review, this movie sucks. Okay, and corresponding to it I might have a label of negative. Similarly, I love this movie, and this might have a positive. And similar to this, we might have so many different uh, different data points, and it can go up to 100k or even 1 million or even 10 of million such text and label pairs. Okay, so essentially in supervised learning we give the model features. Now what are features? I can't give my model this text as it is, because computers by default do not understand this text. We need to feed some sort of numbers. Okay, one naive way in which we can do it is maybe number of words. Okay, this is obviously a very naive and simplistic model. I can have a model where I want to learn a model. Okay, number of words, and what is the review? Negative. Let's encode the negative as 0. Similarly, this particular sentence has 4 words, so I can have 4 and then 1, and so on. And in this manner I have a clear representation of my data, where I have a numeric input and numeric output, and I want to learn this mapping from input to output. Okay, so what we have is, we have a raw text. I'm trying to understand, I'm trying to explain you is typical pipeline. So we have raw text. I take the raw text and convert it into a numerical feature, and then I try to fit one model. What kind of model I want to fit? That depends. There are plenty of, thousands of classification models out there. We will be looking at one of them which works well with text data, and that is known as naive Bayes algorithm. Okay, so at this point I think I've talked enough about this lecture. Now I want to pause. I want you to pause and write down 3 things in your life that rely on text classification. Now you can think about it really deeply. Um, Maybe Gmail, YouTube, or Netflix. Just think about it and take a wild guess. And I'll see you in the next lecture. And in the next lecture, we will be talking about bag of words model. Okay. Thank you so much. Hello everyone. So welcome to the bag of words model lecture. And this lecture is all about learning and understanding how we can take our text data and create some sort of features. Okay, now bag of words model is one of the ways in which we can create feature. There are other ways as well, but it is one of the way, right? You have to understand that there are other ways out there to create features like TF-IDF matrices, and there are much more sophisticated methods. But we will start with bag of words model, and not in this in this section, but maybe in next sections we can cover other methods. But let's keep it simple and let's try to understand the whole pipeline, and within that pipeline how bag of words might fit in. Okay, so how do we use it? How do we use bag of words model for our problem? So what is bag of words model? So bag of words model is one of the method to take our text data. And what kind of text data? If you recall, we had this data from our earlier lecture. We had this sample data. So the idea is that we take this sentence and we try to convert it into some numerical representation. Okay, and the way we do it is based on the concept of presence or absence of a word within that sentence. Let me tell you what I mean by that. So consider, given this sentence, this movie sucks. Okay, now for this sentence I can have a dictionary where the key of the dictionary is words, normalized and cleaned words, and I can have maybe one. I can have movie. I can have that as one, and then I can have sucks. Okay, this also can have one, right? So this is what we mean by bag of words. Now all those words which are not present in this particular dictionary are assumed that they don't have any relevance. So essentially so this dictionary have all the words which are present in the sentence, but there are also those words which are not present, which means their frequency is 0. So for example, this movie for example, I consider a word love. Now automatically it is considered to be 0. Why? Because this does not this is not present in the sentence. So this is how we create a bag of word feature for our model. So what we do is we repeat this process for all the documents that we have got. Okay, so since in my sample example I have got around 100k features, so what we will do is we will repeat this process of creating this for all the 100k text data, 100k text data, and then we get 100k uh, number of dictionaries. Okay, let me show you how we can create it using Python and using NLTK. So let me quickly create a new notebook called BOW features. From NLTK dot tokenize, import word tokenize, or we could have used NLTK dot word tokenizer as well. Okay, so now let's write that sentence, which is this movie sucks, and let's create a function called BOY features, and this will take a text and it will give you a dictionary, and it will return you a dictionary where for word in word tokenize, I'll word tokenize the text, and then I'll check, and in fact I will word tokenize text dot lower, and also I'll check if word is alphanumeric. I don't want to consider maybe any other representation of the word, maybe numerical representation or things like that. So I'll just create word by true, because all the word present in this particular sentence will be considered as present. Okay, so I'll pass sentence. So you see this is the representation that we will get, and the idea is that we would want our model to learn some sort of relationship between the sucks and the category. Now we will see how we will be doing that in next lecture for a real world data, but for now I think this is fine for this particular lecture. But before closing out this lecture, I do want to talk about briefly the limitation of BOW features. Okay, bag of word model ignores word order, and usually in sentences, in text processing, word orders do matter. Okay, but bag of words also ignores context. It only considers the word frequencies, nothing else. Okay, but at the same time it works as a baseline. So this is a strength of bag of words, that it you can use this bag of words thing as a baseline, and then you can uh, from bag of words you can move towards much more sophisticated feature engineering techniques. Okay, now after we have done this part, now in the next lecture what I want to do is I want to prepare our training and testing data. And when I say training and testing data, what I mean is I can't fit my model using this just one sentence, right? I want to have one actual data set, and that is what we will be looking at in the next lecture. Hi everyone. So welcome to the lecture 3, feature extraction in NLTK. Although most of the stuff that we want to cover in this lecture has been covered in the previous one, but I just want to prepare our features for the actual real world data which is available to us via NLTK library. So the data that we will be loading is known as movie reviews data. Let's open a new notebook and create a new data set, and I will call this notebook as classification model on movie review, because this notebook will hold all the code for our later lectures as well. Okay, when we will be talking about the model building process. Okay, all right. So so okay so now we will use the movie reviews corpus, and as we know, any corpus which we want to load, we want to first of all download it. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll download the movie corpus data. Okay, so once I had the, okay, so movie corpus package is not okay. Let's try to import it. So from NLTK import. Oh, I see, movie reviews. It is okay. Yeah, so it is downloaded, I guess. So from NLTK dot corpus import movie reviews. Okay, once I have the movie reviews loaded, I would like to copy our BOW features that we prepared in our earlier lecture. Now I want you to basically understand what movie reviews data contain. Okay, so first of all, I'll try to see what are file IDs present, how many file IDs present in this particular, okay, in this particular corpus. So you see this text negative text, so you see all these files. So what we have here is bunch of negative and positive reviews, and it is not done yet. It is huge data, right? So we have all these file IDs. Let me also do one thing. Let me print the categories. Okay, so we have only two categories: NEG negative, POS positive. Okay, so how can I create my training data? So what I want to do is, first of all, I want to be able to load these text files. Although I don't want to load the text file itself, but I want to load the BOW features. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll create something like a loop. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll write for category. So I'll write a loop for category in. I'll copy this piece of code for category in movie reviews categories, and within each category I'll load file ID. I'll look at file ID. So I'll say movie reviews dot file IDs, and here I'll pass that category which I'm loading here. So for example, if first category is negative, it will only load all the files for negative. Now that I have file ID, what I'll do is I'll take my corpus function movie reviews, and I'll load the raw file, not words, not sentences, but the raw file. And once I have that raw text, let me do one thing. Let me show you what that raw text looks like. Okay, let me do raw text. Let me do something like raw text, and let's do raw text dot append. Okay, let's keep it running. It will take a bunch of seconds, I guess. And while it is running, what we want to do is we want to take this raw text. Each of these raw text I'll take, and I'll call this BOW features. But at the same time, I think I should have also appended not just raw text. Yeah, it's done. So first of all, let's look at how does raw text looks like. Let's load first 10 reviews. Okay, so okay, let's load first review first. Okay, all right. So you see this elaborated review, the Happy Bastards quick movie review, got a head start and things like that. Okay, so now what I want to do is, instead of this, let's do one thing. Okay, instead of this, what I want to do is, let me copy this entire thing and let me write down it as docs. And now I want to take this raw file, and I want to convert it into BOW features. Okay, and I don't just want to have BOW features, but I want to have a tuple where the first entry is BOW features and second entry is category, because in my training data set I want to save not just the input features but also the uh, outputs. Okay, all right. So if I hit run, okay, what exactly word tokenize is notified? Oh, I see, because since I imported this function from some other notebook, so that's why it's happening. Okay, So let me paste by copying. Okay, so once this is done, now we are good to run this function, and it will take some seconds again. And once this is done, we will have a data set of negative. Okay, so it's done. And now if I print the docs first, it will be a tuple. 1 second. Oh, I see. I think I did a mistake, and I should have done docs here. Okay. And once we have this ready, I want to load the first doc, and it will be a tuple. You see, this is a tuple, and first entry is a elaborated dictionary of word presence, and second entry is negative. Currently, this data set has a problem, and the problem is that this data has set is not shuffled well. First few entries are negative, and then there are positive. But to be able to fit a naive Bayes model, we need to shuffle this data well. So I'll load a random module, and I'll do random dot shuffle, and I'll pass the docs here. Now let me check the length of docs. So I have got 2000 documents, and what I'll do is I'll create a train and test data. I'll load first 1600 docs as train, and from 1600 onwards I'll load them as test. So now if I check, 1 second, if I check the length of train, these are 1600, and if I check the length of test, this is 400. Okay, so I think I would like to wrap up our lecture here, but I might have a mini task for you. And one task that I could have for you is print one feature set from the training data and try to see how many features are there. Okay, but that's not a big deal, because I have already shown you how you can do that. But yeah, this is something that you can try, and then let's move on to the next lecture. And next lecture, we are ready to train our first real model, and it is super simple. So thank you so much for watching this. Hello video, everyone. So in this lecture, we will take our training and testing data set that we have prepared, and we will actually fit our model. What was that model about? And this model is known as naive Bayes classifier. Okay, so this is a probabilistic model, and it works by basically taking all of your words for a sentence and finding out the probabilities of the word dependency, conditional probabilities of which word go together to contribute to a positive review, which word go together to contribute to a negative review. It works by like that. Although I want to spend time on covering theory in this, because since this is a practical course, I want to get to the point. Okay, so I would like to load the naive Bayes classifier here, and let's load it. Then I would like to create a variable called classifier, naive Bayes classifier, and in this I can pass train. And if I hit run, 1 second, I see. We need to call a train method. So if I hit train, it will take bunch of seconds. Yeah, it's done. And if I take my classifier now, currently it is simply a object. Now how can I use it? Now suppose I have a sentence, I have a new review. Okay, I have a new review. This movie is looking good and I love it. Let's try to see how our classifier predicts it. So what I'll do is I'll write a probability classifier function. Now I'm not able to, I'm not in a position to pass this new review as it is within this probability classifier, because while training I gave this model bow features. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll write the bow features function, and I'll try to create a feature for new reviews. And now if I hit run, see what will happen. It will give me a probability distribution. not exactly the probability. So I'll write probability distribution, and next what I can do is I can write probability distribution dot probability and write negative. So the probability of negative is 0.48, which is good, because if the probability is more than 50%, which means it thinks that this is a positive, although it's not very strongly believes this, but still it's a good start. So with just, I guess, couple of lines of code, we were able to train a simple model using bow features, simple naive based model, which is able to take any of the review, and it is able to classify it into one of the categories. So at this point, I would like to give you a simple exercise, which is try classifying 3 more custom reviews, one positive, one negative, and one ambiguous maybe. Observe how confident the classifier is. Okay. So now we have trained a model. Now let's test how good it really is by Hello everyone. Welcome to this new lecture. In this short lecture, we will be looking at how to evaluate the classifier. Okay. So evaluating classifier performance to know its effectiveness. We evaluate classifier performance to know its effectiveness. So we majorly use NLTK's accuracy function. Okay, and then there is a function called show most informative feature. This allow us to look at the words which contribute to positive or negative. And then there are more advanced metrics which we will not be covering here. Okay, so let's go to the notebook and let's look at how we can basically evaluate the model's performance. If you recall, while creating our data, we created a testing data which we did not use. We just used the training data. And the reason we create a testing data is because we want to uh, test it. We want to hold out this data for specifically, exclusively for testing. So let's import a function called classify. Now this classify has a sub function called accuracy, and this accuracy can be passed two things. First, the classifier that we have, and that training or testing. So let's look at the train accuracy. So we trained the model on train, and now we want to check the accuracy on training itself. And obviously it is very high, which means it's kind of learned the patterns of the data set well. Now let's check it on testing. On testing, it is close to 66%, which is at this stage, at the beginning stage, is not that bad, but we should have got more. For that, we would have to get to more feature engineering thing. Okay. All right. So I think accuracy is one of the metrics, and there are other metrics which I told you that I will not be going over in this lecture. But before I close off this lecture, I would like to talk about one more important and key method, and that is show most important informative features. So let me show you most 20 informative features. Okay. So you see this finest. So when finest is true, then positive to negative ratio is this, which means whenever finest is present in the text, the naive based model thinks this sentence is positive 15 times more likely than negative. Similarly, when it is sucks, it's 15 times more likely to be negative. Outstanding, again positive. So all these informative features tell us about which words are leading to a certain kind of prediction. Okay. So one challenge I would like to give you, look at the most informative features and try to see uh, do they match your intuition. Obviously here we can see it does match our intuition. Try to guess what the model learned, what kind of patterns model learned. Okay. So yeah, so I'll see you in the next and last lecture, and that is called custom feature engineering. Bye bye. Hi everyone. So welcome to this last lecture where we will be talking about improving feature engineering. So what exactly is feature engineering? boost feature engineering. We already saw one of the methods by which we can basically create features, and that method is called BOW features. Now, bag of words features is, as we discussed in the section where we discussed BOW features, it has lot of limitations. For example, it does not considers order, it does not considers context, it also does not considers many other things that a linguistic analysis should incorporate. Okay, so we have to think about other methods by which we can probably create more advanced features, more correct features. Okay, and one of the simple feature engineering thing that I can quickly show you right now within this bow feature function is, currently I am not removing stop words, right? So one of the feature engineering practice that we can incorporate here as well is try to remove, one second, the stop words from analysis. Okay, so we should remove these stop words from analysis. And why should we remove stop words? Because it depends, right? Because in a sentiment task, stop words might not add any value to our prediction. So what we can do is, instead of bow features, I can rename this as custom features. And here let me do one thing. So let me do word dot token. Let me copy this entire thing and let me create a new variable called tokens. And this is a list of all the tokens which are not alphanumeric. Now what I'll do is, for word in tokens, if word dot lower, although it is already done in the tokens list, not in stop words dot words English. Okay, let's run it. Now what I can do is, let me show you by looking at one text. One second. Okay, sent is not defined. One second. This movie is definitely outstanding and I love it. Okay, let's run it. So we see movie is captured, definitely is captured, outstanding is captured, love is captured. So all the important words are captured and all other garbages are basically removed, right? And why garbage removing might be important? Because if we look at show most informative features, and if we look at this last line, whenever a text contains hers, the model is thinking the sentence is 8.9 times more likely to be a positive sentence, which is stupid, right? So we don't want hers to be considered. So I think it would be better to simply get rid of it. Not only that, in custom features, we can have other things as well. We can basically take it to the next level. We can incorporate TF-IDF based features or other numerical features. That can be a part of another lecture. And the reason I am telling you is this, because this particular course is about NLTK based analysis. And if I go into TF-IDF, and then I will have to cover sklearn and things like that. And that is why I feel we can stop right here, and we uh, and the thought at which I want to stop is, this is not it. Feature engineering is a vast topic which we can uh, have, which we can cover in as much detail as we want, and there are like tons of different thousands of different methods to do feature engineering. One exercise that I would like to give you is, we created this custom features, right? And we had that bow feature. I want you to compare which one did better. Okay. And when I say which one did better, I want you to check the accuracy on test data. and see whether the custom features did better. And definitely, I am telling you for sure, custom features will do a little better, not much better, but little better over bow features. And then there are other type of advanced, as I already mentioned, like bigrams, word counts, or even TF-IDF. In future projects, you can incorporate those. Okay, so I think I would like to close out this lecture, and I would encourage you to try out the quiz so that you solidify the understanding that we try to capture in this video. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.